Now is Rick Shirley, a retired Austin police sergeant. He was a negotiator for nearly 3 decades. Mr. Shirley, thanks so much for the time this afternoon.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's start with this. What's the first thing a negotiator must do when entering a situation like we saw in Cedar Park, where there has already been a violent act?
Well, they want to try to make sure that the situation is calm and develop a rapport with the person involved to make sure that they build trust and also calm things down.
The standoff lasted 17 hours. Do tactics change the longer a standoff like this goes?
Well, usually not. It just depends on the situation and how the person that they're speaking with is acting. If they start harming someone, then obviously there's going to be some tactical issues there that are going to change. But as long as they're calm and they're continuing dialogue, then things pretty much stay the same throughout.
In many cases like this, where there's a standoff, a lengthy standoff, the person could be suffering from mental issues. Do you know early on if that's the case, and how does that change your approach in a situation like that?
Well, the whole time these things are going on, that there are officers that are specially trained in intelligence gathering that are getting as much information and trying to talk to any mental health professionals that may have worked with the person before. They're, of course, evaluating the person's mental stability while they're talking to them. And so it just depends on what type of mental illness they are suffering from and what type of either a psychotic episode, if it's to that degree, or what type of emotional stability they're experiencing at the time.
From what you've seen with this standoff that started yesterday, ended early this morning, it seems to most people on the outside like it was a job well done. Is that kind of the way you view the way they handled this situation?
Yeah, there are a lot of people that don't really understand what all is going on there and what can possibly happen, that get really impatient, especially if they're neighbors and stuff like that, or there's a traffic issue. They get really impatient and are angry at the police or angry at the person or angry at both, and they want them to hurry up. But you really have to be patient and deal with this situation based on what the person will let you do, because the longer these things draw out, in reality, the better they usually turn out. So it's not unusual for these situations, especially when you've got somebody inside with the person that's become violent. And also you have to add the factor in here that they had already shot some police officers, so they have some other issues they're concerned about there that have to be dealt with.
Rick Shirley, thank you so much for your insight and your time this afternoon. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. Take care.